I heard a phrase a long time ago that has been really powerful for me. You can either be right or you can be happy in your marriage. And I think there's a lot of right women, right wives out there, but are we actually happy in our marriage? So that's something I've been working on, is just zip the lips sometimes too. We can pick and choose our battles, right?
And it's you and me, babe, whatever comes. Knowing bigger hands are holding ours, and the greatest days are ahead of us. Growing in love, learning to be a better us.
Hi there, welcome to A Better Us, and welcome to our home.
Okay, so you've been married a while, thoroughly enjoyed the honeymoon stage, and now you're living in the trenches in real life. And now you're beginning to notice some of the things about your spouse that, well, just bug you.
Like he doesn't pick up his dirty socks or replace the toilet paper roll. Or, you know what we're talking about, those nagging irritations.
Such as nagging.
Okay, yeah, but also things like leaving his dirty dishes in the family room.
Or nagging.
Okay, yeah, you make a good point. Nagging would definitely be an irritation too.
Dr. Gary Chapman, author of The 5 Love Languages, is here to help us find ways to share with our spouse things that bug us. Both the little things and the big things.
Stuff, yes.
But to do it in a way that might actually make a difference.
Also in today's program, we have a segment called The Huddle, where just the guys of A Better Us get their heads together on a topic, and we girls get to listen in.
That's right. The relationship expert Bill Farrel is joining us, and we're going to talk about how best to communicate with our wives.
And joining us in the kitchen to talk about it all, we have CFL football great Mike Pinball Clemens and his wife Diane.
And recording artist Dan McCauley and his wife Danielle.
Stay with us. We're about to get started.
Today I want to talk about how to share the things that bug you. Let's be honest, all of us are irritated by certain things about our spouse, okay? Things you didn't know before you got married, never dreamed about before you got married, but they just irritate you to death. You know, in the past I've talked about how I was irritated by the way my wife loads the dishwasher. You know, I load it in an organized manner, she loads it like she's playing Frisbee, okay? And that irritated me to death. Now, what I want to talk about is, how do you bring up these things that irritate you, but bring them up in a positive way so that they're more likely to change those things? Because if you simply shoot them with criticism, it's not going to help. Let me give you some positive ideas. Number one, choose your setting. And by setting, I mean 3 things. Choose your time. You share it after a meal, not before a meal. When we're hungry, we're irritable. That's not the time to bring it up. Wait till they've after the meal if you're going to bring up something you'd like to see changed in them. Secondly, you choose the place, and the place should be in private, never in front of other people. You bring it up in front of other people, it's a put down. You bring it up in private when just the 2 of you are there. In public, you brag on your spouse. In private, you bring up the things that irritate you. The third part of the setting is the feelings of your spouse. Do they feel like they could take a suggestion tonight? Some nights we can't. Some nights everything we've touched all day long has gone wrong. Everybody and his brother has been on our back, and we come home and now you bring up something you want me to change and I explode. Why did I explode? Because your suggestion was the straw that broke the camel's back. Ask them if this will be a good night to share something with you that I would like for you to change. If they say no, I can guarantee you they'll be back in less than an hour because they're dying to know what it is. But you just say, no, honey, it can wait till tomorrow or even next week. Just whenever you're feeling like it, you let me know. Well, I think I'm feeling like it now. Yeah. But you help them get ready. Don't ever hit them broadside. Get them ready to receive your suggestion. Second suggestion I want to make is this. Don't give an overdose. Now, by nature, that's exactly what we do. We hold all this stuff inside that bugs us. And then one night when the pressure gets so strong, we throw out something we'd like to see them change. And once we get started, we pour it on. We say, oh, and by the way, da-da-da-da, and one more thing, and you give them 5 things you'd like to see them change, and you give them all on the same night. And what happens? You kill their motivation to change. They're not going to change a thing. They're probably going to shoot you a few. You're not so swift yourself, and they shoot you. You shot them 5 times, they shot you 3 times, you went away wounded, you resented each other, and you're not going to change a thing. Let me suggest only one suggestion every other week. This week you tell me something you'd like to see me change. Next week I'll tell you something I'd like to see you change. That's 26 a year. That ought to be enough. But look at it this way. If you could get 26 things changed this year, would it be a good year for you? Third suggestion I want to make is this. Before you give them a suggestion for change, give them 3 compliments. Tell them 3 things you like about them, exactly like God did to the church at Ephesus. 3 things He liked about them. Then He said, there's one thing I'd like to see you change. Tell them 3 things you like, then tell them what you'd like to see changed. If my wife wants to ask me if I would please get the hairs out of the sink, she says, honey, first of all, let me tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you got the bugs off my windshield last night. I love it when you get the bugs off my windshield. And I want to thank you for vacuuming the floor on Thursday night. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you hang your clothes up. 1, 2, 3. Are you ready, babe? Those hairs in the sink just bug me to death. Now, I can work on hairs in the sink, and I probably will. Why? She likes me. Tell them 3 things you like, then tell them the thing you'd like to see changed. I believe you're likely to see far more change if you learn how to make your suggestions in a positive way rather than a condemning way.
Well, we are in our kitchen with our kitchen couples. We've got Dan and Danielle, and we've got Diane and where's Mike? Oh, he's in the camouflage. Anyway, how to share things that bug you. Some practical stuff, some good tips from Dr. Chapman.
Because, I mean, if you've been married longer than 5 minutes, there's something about your spouse that bugs you.
I got sheets full of them.
You've been taking
not
notes.
the time or place.
You've been taking
Sorry. Never mind.
But you know what? It can be from something really serious to the mundane. Like with this guy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's on me. Maybe I've never showed him where the garbage can is. I need to tell him where we keep the garbage can, because so often I'll find garbage all he's replaced the milk bag and the empty one is sitting right there on the counter.
Now, I'm sure that Dr. Chapman said something about doing that in private.
I missed that part.
Oh, you missed that part?
She missed that. She
Okay.
was putting away the milk bag.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
But Ron, you're kind. She appreciates the way that you rub her
you
feet.
didn't say 3 nice things first.
I appreciate there's no hair in the sink.
Okay,
That's a good
all right.
thing. Okay. But you know, it really is, everybody has something to share, but it's how you share it. And that's what we love about that.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
funny. As he was talking, I look over at my husband and I'm like, oh, I might have a few things to work on, huh?
And all he did was laugh. He was like, okay.
Oh, not with me, babe. I'm like, oh, you're so sweet. I know I do.
Out of us two, I'm the guilty one for pouring it on, and this and this and this, and I'm learning, honey. But for all the overachievers like me and type A personalities, I would like to add, sometimes we just need to let it go. Because I heard a phrase a long time ago that has been really powerful for me. You can either be right or you can be happy in your marriage. And I think there's a lot of right women, right wives out there, but are we actually happy in our marriage? So that's something I've been working on, is just zip the lips sometimes too. We can pick and choose our battles, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
I think when you've been married a while, though, certain things that bugged you so much early on, you kind of learn to let it go. You
let
just
it go.
Because it's not worth it. It's worth it.
It could be a song.
Would you get on that songwriter guy? Let it go.
Want to hear?
Yeah, really.
But sometimes it is the somewhat trivial things. Okay, but then there are some things, the times when maybe bug me is not the right term, but it's just that kind of a deep-seated irritation, and you just got to share it, and because it's affecting your relationship.
Specific you're thinking?
No,
of?
not for
Okay.
you. We'll talk later in private.
Yeah, in private. Yeah. That's true.
But but it's how you bring it up.
Yes.
It's the attitude that you bring it up with, and
Your tone of voice
yeah, body
goes
language,
a
tone of
long
voice.
ways.
Yeah.
Your tone of voice.
I was
Like,
guilty of that.
yeah,
The tone of voice, and at one point, Michael had to say, "It's just the way you say it, babe." And I was
we
like,
can't
"Ooh."
start elevated. We can't start up
Okay,
here because that's going to escalate
Absolutely.
everything.
And don't text it.
That's good. Yeah. Wait until you're sitting both calmly in private and share from your heart. There's a lot we could talk about.
And the important thing is it has to be a safe place
Yeah.
for you to bring something up in the marriage. And you know what? We had kind of a neat place that just the guys of A Better Us did something called the Huddle, and that's coming up in the second half of this program. So stay with us, don't miss that. And
We girls
thanks,
are going
guys.
to get to listen in too.
You'll listen in. That's okay.
She isn't looking for input on all of that. She's connecting her life to you. Because when a love of her life gets connected to you, there's like a switch that turns on, and you become a trustworthy person in her heart. And we get impatient with the process.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying the show.
You know, our vision at A Better Us is to see every marriage become a loving union that creates a safe family haven, building a legacy of hope for future generations.
That's why we feel it's so important to invest in marriage relationships through producing a new episode of A Better Us every week.
Absolutely. If you feel as we do that marriages are worth investing in, then please consider joining us as a member of A Better Us with a monthly donation of $25.
You'll be making a big difference in lives and families, and we'll send you 2 of our special mugs, the mugs that you see our kitchen couples using each program.
Absolutely. And be sure to send us your mugshot selfie, and we'll post it on our Facebook page and on our website.
Simply visit abetterus.tv and click donate to set up your automatic monthly giving. God bless you, and thank you so much for making this program possible and helping us strengthen marriages.
So we can all become a better us.
Well, we're here with the guys of A Better Us, and we're a special location. I'll tell you about it in a second, but we've got Eric Maines, we've got Dan McCauley, we've got Mike Pinball Clemens, and we have Bill Farrell.
Thanks for letting me in the huddle.
Bill's joining us in the huddle. Bill is a relationship expert and over like 45 books, I think it is now, that you and Pam have written. And
You've written 45? I don't know if I've read 45.
we are at Tim Hortons Field here in Hamilton, Ontario, home of the Tiger Cats. Now, Pinball, you played with the Argos, and that was kind of a rivalry with Hamilton.
A little rivalry, not much. It's kind of died down.
Oh, yeah.
No. Yes.
But also housed here at the stadium is the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. And of course, Pinball is an inductee. He's a CFL football legend here.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah. And I think you still hold the record, don't you, for the most all-purpose yards of anyone in professional football?
I hold that along with all the guys who played with me, who did the real work to help me get there.
You're
Yes.
too humble. You're too humble. But that's and that includes Canada and the NFL as well. All-purpose yards is like what, 20-some thousand yards?
Yeah, something like
who's
that.
Counting,
Yes,
eh?
yeah.
But anyway, and so this is a special place to be for the Huddle, because the Huddle is a place Pinball would know best than anyone, where the guys they get their heads together and they try to figure out how are we going to move the ball down the field. And so we all want to make progress in life, especially in our marriages. And that's what A Better Us is all about. How do we become a better us? So this is kind of getting our heads together, just as guys. You know, the gals did their thing, their Just Us Girls segment. So this is our Huddle segment with the guys. And we're going to talk about some of the issues that that men really need to maybe wake up to. One of the biggest areas, in marriage is this whole idea of communication, and women, that's one of their biggest needs is communication.
Okay. Right, got it.
Hey, I'm not listening.
Right there. Dad joke.
But a dad joke, Eric saw that. But often we're not on the same page, Bill, when it comes to communication. We kind of are speaking different, even languages, it seems, sometimes. So help, kick us off here on this topic.
And I just want to say to everybody as we start, to the men out there, you are not bad communicators. We hear it all the time. We're bad communicators. It's not true. The issue is we're different communicators. Like we communicate just fine at work. We communicate well in our friendships. But marriage operates at a different level. Because marriage is the only relationship where you share everything. You share your lifestyle, you share your decisions, you share your money, share your body, you share the home, you share everything in your life you share with this person. And so it's much more intense in marriage than it is in any other relationship. And as men, we tend to communicate to get to a point. We think every conversation has a point. We think if it's a problem, there's a solution. If there's a topic, there is a point to the topic. And our wives communicate to connect. That one of the primary ways women build trust in a relationship is they connect their life to people they think are important. So if your wife thinks you are important, she wants her life connected to you. That's why she shares with you what she thinks and what she feels and what she did and what she thought about doing but didn't do, what her mom had to say about it, what her sister had to say about it, how she'd do it differently next time, what she thought about what the people were wearing while she was talking to them. And she isn't looking for input on all of that. She's connecting her life to you. Because when enough of her life gets connected to you, there's like a switch that turns on, and you become a trustworthy person in her heart. And we get impatient with the process. We're like, okay, what's the point? Where are you going? And we interrupt the whole process of building trust. She feels disconnected, which means she feels the need to talk more because she's trying to get connected to us.
So we're at different wavelengths, kind of.
Very much
right?
so.
And but I guess you can still somehow work harmony on different wavelengths. Like two notes can be on different wavelengths and still be in harmony. But it's just kind of tuning into it, and sometimes tuning into what the real need is, what she's trying to do, is the hard part.
Well, the simplest way I know to say it to all of us guys is we need to learn to take turns when it comes to communication. Because when we're leading the conversation, we're driving to a point. When she's leading the conversation, we're connecting our hearts. And if we can decide, okay, which way are we going? Because the women need to learn how to do this with us, because we don't connect through communication like they do. So if they want us to share everything and share all of our feelings, and we're going to be like, okay, I had a long day, I'm tired, I'm hungry. That's how I feel, because that's the point. So if we can learn to take turns, and if as men, when it's her turn to talk, we can tune the instrument differently and say, okay, it's her turn to talk. I'm going to shut down all that fix-it stuff that's in my brain. Because when I hear a question, I'm like, okay, problem solved. I'm going to come up with a solution. I'm going to be a hero. This is going to be awesome. If we can shut all that down and just go on a journey with her and let her take the conversation anywhere she wants it to go, when it's done, the connection happens. She looks at us different. She hears us different. Now, if we have to work through an issue, she goes, oh, yeah, what do you have to say? Because I trust you now. And it's a calm conversation rather than an interrupted conversation.
I brought a visual about the way my mind works because
Okay.
duct tape and WD-40. So when I'm talking to Ann, so I'm trying to figure out, okay, so how can I fix this?
Right.
Because that's Mr. Fix-It mentality is
Yeah.
that, so she just wants me to help her fix it. But when sometimes she just wants me to understand her point of view and that I get it and that not trying to fix something, which is what we try to do, right?
Yeah, because we're good at it.
Yeah. And so,
And grease the wheels.
So can you tell me, like, when do you drive and when do you ride? When are, like, the pastor? So the difficult part is yes. So when they're talking, they want to connect, right? And when we listen, it seems that they want a response. But when we respond, it seems that they just want us to listen, right? so how do you know when to be the driver and the passenger?
Well, when it comes to communication,
Yes.
most of the time you're the passenger.
Okay.
So you assume that that's where you start.
Okay.
And the best way I know to describe it is our wives like recreational conversation. So for them, it's like taking a walk. Like if you took a walk with your wife around the neighborhood here at the stadium, When the walk was over, you wouldn't analyze every detail. You wouldn't say, how many steps did we take? How many plants did we see? You just went on a walk, and as you're walking, you're pointing out this and pointing out that, but none of it lingers. You just notice it as you go.
So, now, I've been to a lot of seminars and a lot of stuff around athletes and action and couples, and all this time I've missed the point.
See, and if we can learn the art of recreational conversation, that there was no point to it, we just went on a verbal walk with her.
That's it.
And the response she's looking for is, yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Not, okay, here's what you do with it, honey. Here's the problem. It's, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, wow. And then strategically not answer some questions.
Right.
Because, we hear all the time, our wives want honesty from us.
Yeah.
It's strategic honesty. So when your wife asks you a question like, does that woman look better than I do, or do I look fat in this? She's not asking for an analysis. She's asking, do you notice me, and am I more valuable to you than anybody else? So you just say something like, I don't know, you're so beautiful, I can't even think straight when I'm around you, so I don't know how to answer that.
Good answer. I'm gonna write that one down. Come on.
Yeah, when you
No,
I was just gonna say, when you prioritize them in threatening environments, it does work, doesn't it? Right.
I was going to say, like, kind of paraphrasing as I'm understanding you, that it would be less stressful for us if we identify which kind of drive we're on. So if it's us, we're on a highway to a destination, but for them, it's a Sunday drive, looking at the foliage and talking about the nice house up there and the color of the shutters and whatever. So we understand. Okay, this is, or even taking turns. You're saying this is we're gonna get on the highway to a destination here, or I'm gonna go on the scenic Sunday drive with her and let her point out the scenery on the way. But knowing which one it is.
But to borrow your analogy, when we're going on a destination drive, I tell Pam ahead of time.
Right.
So she knows.
Because she needs to know as well. It's not just
I'm
about
in
us
problem-solving
knowing.
mode.
We
I
both
need
need
us
to be
to
on
get
the same
there.
page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's well. And another interesting question for all you guys to talk about, like, what have you done practically to extend your ability to listen to her? Because most guys, we kind of we give out early in the conversation. So what have you done to extend
I'm
your...
working on that too, but on that, one thing Kara loves to do, and it's not that it's a pet peeve or anything, it's just that I'm not the greatest at it at either, is she likes to debrief after everything we do. So we'll be at work together, and we'll be like, we handled this situation, and I feel like I did a good job handling that, and then we'd be in the car driving home, and then she'd be like, so how did you feel during that? And I'm just like, well, you saw what I did. I did this. I said this to this person, and then it was solved. She's like, okay, yeah, but how did it make you feel? Like, what are your thoughts and emotions on this? And so I've actually had to, what you're saying, I've had to be intentional about sharing my emotions in certain times, because that's what she wants to hear. She wants me to communicate my emotions, which is not my natural instinct to do.
Okay, so now another question. What happens when she won't talk? What have I done at that point? Because you probably guess I'm the talker, and so what happens?
So I'm going to throw it to the guys, let them give their input, and then I'll share my opinion on what's happening. So what do you guys think when you get the silent treatment?
When she stops talking, she's either unconscious or eating. I don't know.
But are you taking your conversations for the Sunday drive, or you're still on the highway though, right? Even though you're the one.
I'm talking about it anytime, right? Sometimes I invite her participation in the conversation, and she doesn't necessarily accept my invitation. It's not rude or anything. It's just she doesn't talk as much as I do.
Probably what's happened
Yes.
is she's concluded you're not curious. You're now going to be an analyzer.
Okay.
So she doesn't want to be figured out. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to share and have you point out all the good and bad. You've lost curiosity. And I have found that when it comes to marriage communication, curiosity is the key, because the reality is God made us very different. Like, we're all made in the image of God, but part of the image of God gets reflected through women. Part of the image of God gets reflected through men, and we don't understand the other half of the image of God that's in our wives. So if we lose curiosity, we lose connection, and she'll let us know when we've lost connection.
Okay, you're pretty good at this. Can we do a little stem cell thing? Yes.
If you'll give me your speed.
Yes.
I think what I've taken from this is if we take the time to let her debrief a little more, we're more apt to debrief.
Oh, debrief. Oh, okay. Okay.
New song coming on.
Okay. The light just went on.
What am I supposed to do here?
I was surprised how long that took.
Well, I've heard it said, you know, Ann and I, more recently, we're kind of focused on this marriage ministry, and so I was doing some reading, and I came across a phrase, and I had to say to Ann, is this really true? It said that open and honest communication for a woman has the same effect on her that sex has on a man. And that kind of blew my mind. I thought, oh my goodness, so this must be really important to her. And that kind of woke me up to that, you know, don't just do the WD-40 and duct tape response, but she really needs this, and it's one of her top needs. And with that in mind, and if we really want to meet our spouse's greatest needs, we got to come out of our comfort zone a little bit. Even when we don't feel like it, and not just have the one-word answers, which I tend, you know, it's more comfortable for me just to say a quick answer, but she likes to elaborate a little bit. And so that, boy, we could keep going on about this. This is an important topic, but we're gonna have to break this huddle. But I think we've probably broken some stereotypes with women, seeing a bunch of guys talking, you know, about our feelings and about open emotions and stuff. And so this is some good stuff. So we hope you'll stay tuned for more Better Us coming up. But this is the Huddle segment, and so we got to do the ready, break. Okay.
Hey friends, Ron and Ann here. We're so glad you're with us at A Better Us, and we pray your marriage is blessed as you take this in.
Be sure and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and enjoy this video. If we had to give today's program a theme, it would probably be communication. From Dr. Chapman's insights on how to share with your spouse the things that bug you.
To Bill Farrel's helping you guys better understand how to communicate with your wives. Truly getting that communication thing down in marriage is crucial in the two of you becoming a better us.
It was a real eye-opener for me when Bill said that your primary purpose in communication with me is to connect.
That's right, I know. We women really do need you to go on that conversation journey with us so that we truly feel connected to you, because we love you and we need that.
And when you think about it, that's also what God wants with us, because He loves us. He desires a personal connection with us too. And He's gone to great lengths in His communication in order to make that connection. He communicates through His Word, the Bible, through nature, His creation, but most profoundly through Jesus, God in the flesh.
Yes, He is literally God connecting with us, up close and very personal. And you can make that connection with Him by simply opening your heart to Him and receiving His love and forgiveness.
And that connection with Him is actually the foundation of a great marriage. We often say closer to God means closer to each other, and it's so true.
If we can help you make that personal connection with God, please give our prayer line a call. The number is on the screen and it's available to you 24/7.
Thanks again for joining us. And remember, with God, there is always hope to become a better us. Hey friends, we really hope you're enjoying the marriage conversations here with A Better Us on our YouTube channel.
We have hundreds of more helpful marriage videos designed to give you hope and tools to make your marriage better.
You can see just a few options we think you might like here and here.
Enjoy! Oh, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here so you don't miss out on all the great marriage help we have coming your way soon.